Interesting topic, artificial intelligence, poised to revolutionize a lot of facets of our lives. And Onondaga County's district attorney wants to lead the way in weaving it into the criminal justice system.
So joining us to take a deeper look into it is DA Bill Fitzpatrick. Thanks for joining us, Bill.
You're
really
very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
An expert on having no intelligence myself.
I
have to go to artificial intelligence.
A great opening.
What kind of benefits do you think? We've heard about it in a lot of other fields, but how can AI help a local prosecutor?
Yeah, good question, Jeff. And here's what I think will happen in our lifetimes, within the next probably 5 years, if certainly 10 years. Think about the forensic evidence that we use in court today, DNA. So what we often see are community guns. They're handled by multiple different people. Well, how do you identify all of that amalgam of DNA? Artificial intelligence will be able to differentiate, I think, between multiple donors to the gun or to the murder weapon, whatever it may be. We can already do that with probabilistic genotyping, but it kind of has a limit of 3 to 4 people. I think with artificial intelligence, it'll be much more than that. Same with fingerprints. So if I put my thumb on a glass surface and that glass surface becomes relevant to the crime scene, Christy comes along and she puts her thumb, advertently or inadvertently, on top of it. Not too many fingerprint examiners can look at that and say, well, I can say that print came from this guy, that print came from that woman. Artificial intelligence will be able to do that. Tool mark identification. Yeah. Did that gun fire that bullet? So I think it's going to revolutionize what we do.
Is it primarily evidence gathering, analyzing,
yes.
or do you see other applications?
Well, I think it can also be used for case management and more mundane things, running your office.
Sure.
Maybe I can take a little more time off and just put the little box there. But I think it's going to change a lot of things. And we also have to be careful because, like with photographs, you can, Photoshop things. And I think defense lawyers are going to be much more careful in saying, okay, we'll admit that photo. They're going to want to know, we want to know when was it taken, let's see the metadata, and so forth and so on. So it'll be interesting.
And I'm curious, too, that kind of leads me to the next question of the challenges we face with AI. Bias, ethical concerns, like you were just kind of talking about there, the algorithms, things like that. Is that stuff we still have to work through, or will that always be there?
You always have to worry about bias because somebody is going to write the algorithm, and you want to make sure that the person is as bias-free as humanly possible. There's something we call confirmation bias. Like if you find this item of evidence came from that individual and then I'm asked to re-examine it, do I have a bias? I want to confirm what my colleague has said. So that's something that we're already looking into, Jeff, but it's a concern that should be considered with AI as well.
Oh, okay, you say already looking at it. How soon could we see a transition of this?
I think certainly within the next 5 years to a decade. I actually started 2 committees, one at the national level and one at the state level, to get the best minds of prosecutors and scientists to prepare ourselves for that.
Sounds like you want to set the blueprint for this.
Yes, I'd like to do that.
Wow, fascinating.
Okay. Another topic we want to cover with you here, gangs. They've been around. We kind of hear more or less about them, depending on how they want to be treated in the public. You've come up with a new approach to try to tackle some of this gang violence?
It's not really new, Jeff. It's something that we should have been using more of, and that's the RICO statute. The state RICO statute. There's a federal RICO statute, but I just convicted 2 gentlemen of murder about a month ago with DA Fitzpatrick, Assistant DA Fitzpatrick, and Assistant DA Williams, and it was a watershed moment. As a result of that, we've now sat down with SPD, my judgment, the best urban police department in the state of New York, and we've concentrated on other gangs, and they're going to fall like dominoes. In fact, we just made a bust this morning, 5 individuals, Parkside Commons, seized a boatload of fentanyl. I love it when people say, oh, he was arrested for a non-violent drug offense. Folks, we're losing 100,000 young men and women a year to fentanyl poisoning. So when you're trafficking in bulk loads of fentanyl, that's not non-violent. Somebody that sells strychnine is a violent individual. Somebody that sells fentanyl is by definition a violent person. We're going to take Parkside Commons back. Right now, it's, as of 9 o'clock this morning, it was run by gangs. At 9:15, it's going to be run by the residents and by the people of Syracuse.
But though we've seen plenty of gang initiatives come and go in this community, and some of them just don't last. How will this be different, where we actually see, you know, these gang members?
Well, the people of Parkside Commons will be the immediate beneficiaries of what we're seeing. I want people to grow up in the city of Syracuse. We have all this economic opportunity coming here with Micron. The construction on I-81 might not be very sexy, but it's creating a lot of jobs, a lot of economic capital being pushed into the area. I want people to be able to walk the streets, enjoy themselves, enjoy their neighbors. I don't want a mother, you know, worried if I send my 11-year-old out to get a carton of milk, is she going to come back alive like little Brexy? That's just unacceptable.
Fitz, we've seen you handle plenty of high-profile cases, but certainly a couple of them have risen up lately. How did you decide to step in on the prosecution involving the West Hill lacrosse players and that hazing and kidnapping of some teammates incident? Why'd you step in?
I guess the rule of thumb for me, Jeff, is if it impacts the community to where the Fitz meter goes off the scale, I'll jump in, because we were hearing rumors about satanic rituals in the forest. You know, people being sexually abused, sacrificed. I mean, it just got off the charts. It was a stupid act by a small group of individuals at West Hill. And I thought it was important, even though there's a lot I can't say because of the age of the offenders, but I wanted the people to understand that we weren't sweeping it under the rug, that we were going to deal with it. And, you know, I get these emails from people, oh, they're getting a slap on the wrist. I don't know what your definition of a slap on the wrist is. These people, they had to go out and hire lawyers. The kids were all fingerprinted. They were booked. They had to appear in front of a judge. And I don't know what Judge Mullen has planned for him, but Judge Mullen used to work for me. I have a pretty good idea of what his thought processes are. If I were those kids, I wouldn't plan any trips to Disney World for 2025. So that's not a slap on the wrist, I'm sorry.
Were you surprised to see the amount of attention it got? CNN, New York Times, ABC, David Muir.
Well, of course not, because I was involved in the case. No. Look, I don't make the call on what becomes a national story. Karen Reed, you know, she is what she is. She backs up her car, runs over her boyfriend. Pretty obvious. She's got a broken tail light. She admitted that she did it. Her car data box indicates she did it. But that's the story du jour. That's captured the nation. This West Hill story, I mean, I had 20 national interview requests that day. I did one of them. But again, that's not my call. But to answer your question, yes, I was surprised, because that stuff goes on. It goes on all over the country.
I want to try to cover one last topic with you. Another high-profile situation, correction officers over in Onondaga County, 2 different prisons. How you get picked for both of them, and now looks like 8 of 10 at Marcy are going to go to trial.
Yeah, the latter point first. They go to trial. Guess what? I've tried, I don't know, 100 homicide cases, so let's go. I prefer to go to trial. I want people to see the facts, to see the stark. I know people have seen 30-second snippets of what happened to Mr. Brooks. I want people to see it, hear it, and live it. As to the first question, I got picked because I was dumb enough to answer my phone, and it was Letitia James. And, you know, politically, you know, here's Letitia and here's me. I find her a very capable, engaging, personable individual. And we talked for probably 20 minutes, and then she convinced me that it was important. And I know I represent the people of Onondaga County, and somebody might say, hey, we're paying your salary. But this is really a crime against the whole state of New York. This is who we are, and I think it's important that it be handled right. And I've got the best staff in America, and they're going to handle it right with me.
All right.
We covered a lot.
We sure did.
Yeah, we did. Well, it's good to see you.
We're going to have you back.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll have you back soon. Thank you, sir.
See, I'll probably be dumb enough to answer my phone when you call.
When we call.
We hope so. Thank you, Bill Fitzpatrick.